Police and national security operatives are to begin joint patrols on the University of Ghana campus from Monday night as one of 8 measures outlined by management of the university to improve the security situation there. It follows the attack on a level 400 student by suspected armed robbers, which left him with deep cuts in the head and other parts of his body. One arrest has already been made, and the initiatives agreed after a meeting with the student leaders and police is hoped will reassure the student body and the university community. Nancy Emefa-Jiradozi has more on Sunday night's attack on the student.
This is the exact spot Daniel said the level 400 student of the University of Ghana was attacked, leaving him with deep cuts in his head. In this video, Daniel is seen with his entire head soaked with blood. On Monday morning, the entire stretch from Pentagon to Evandi Hostel was quite empty, with just a few students using the area. I met 2 ladies who say they never use this stretch at night unless they are in groups.
So many fear, because we have our group studies at Pentagon, and anytime we are going, we have to pick a taxi, and the taxi too is very expensive, 5 cedi. So we need management to provide us with street lights and security men.
So anytime you're passing here at night, how do you feel? Even before this incident happened?
There's so much fear in us. Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
We put our phones in our dresses and then speed our walking. Yeah, there is so much fear in us.
So around what time do you use this road?
Around 9, because we have our group studies around 9 to 11. Yeah.
Okay. So when you're coming back, tell me how the movement is like for you.
We either take a taxi or they come and escort us.
Who escorts you?
The group members.
Divine says he has always been scared using the stretch, and the incident on Sunday has deepened his woes.
Well, because this is not the first time something of the sort has happened, because actually this stretch, the street lights here don't work, and there is so much bush here. So most of the times they hide in the bush, and then when students are coming, normally they attack people and take their belongings, phones, laptops, their bags and everything. I think this is the first time I've heard that they've attacked someone and wounded the person so much. So it has caused great fear. We working on this stretch, it has become so dangerous.
Stephen has had to escort ladies at night at the peril of his own life.
This street is actually dangerous because per my experience, a lot of people, when they reach where the big gutter is, that's from the big gutter at Penn. When they reach there in the night, I realize that girls especially, they pause a bit and wait whether someone is coming so that the person can assist them. And then, so there have been several occasions where I had to come and meet girls there and bring them along.
But after the incident happened last night, the hashtag #MakeUG a safe place again has been trending #1 on Twitter. I found level 200 students Abigail Osaya Boaje and Papa Ajabane who decided to start this campaign.
I would say it was out of frustration, and I don't know. Yesterday I was in the study room and I got a message from my roommate. We all know this person who got hurt yesterday, so they sent me the pictures. I was so mad because we're in this school, and this place is supposed to be a safe place. Like, our parents would be like, don't go out, stay in school, stay on campus. And we are being attacked on campus too. So I don't know, I felt our voices needed to be heard, because my cousin also nearly got stabbed on the same stretch last 2 weeks. She was coming to me for food, and these boys attacked her. They chased after her, and she had to just cross the street. So she nearly even got knocked down by a car and everything. So I don't know, it was out of what the events that has happened before that I've heard of, and this person's own, and I happen to know this person too, so it's out of frustration. So I was just there, and I decided to just put something on social media because I have a lot of followers, and I felt if I make the first step, people are going to come out and tell us what their problems are. So I just posted it, and my friend here helped me create a hashtag, and he said he was going to help me make this trend up.
But some students are ready to embark on demonstrations if the security situation on campus does not improve.
So the university authorities have been discussing workable measures to improve security on the campus, and at an emergency security meeting held by management members, they came up with a number of initiatives, one of them being management will be providing fuel for the SRC shuttle to transport students from 24-hour reading room to various halls of residence. Now the management is to mount security posts on the TF Bani stretch at the close of this week. Police national security patrols on campus to resume today, Monday night. And we are on the university campus to assess the situation. Then are the bushes along the TF Bani stretch to be cleared immediately with regular reclearing of those bushes. Now, the fifth measure is management is to consider installing barricades on the TF Bani stretch to prevent assailants from getting easy access to the avenue. And then all the street lights on that stretch are being fixed immediately to increase visibility. The seventh measure is that students are to keep ID cards on them whenever they move out after 10 p.m. and students are to avoid moving along deserted routes alone after 9 p.m. Now, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ebenezer Oduro-Owusu, says the joint patrols, which are being revived from Monday evening, were stopped because the students were unhappy with the presence of the officers.
The first point of call was to make sure that we beef up our security. Okay. So you also recall that we had police presence on campus, patrolling campus every now and then. But the problem again is that students said they didn't want them on campus. The unfortunate aspect of the whole thing is that the police patrol team left without my knowledge. Wow. So I wasn't aware that they had left. It was only yesterday evening when we were trying to put this together that I realized that they were not on campus. So I quickly called the National Security Minister and I told him they need to come back. The reason they are back on campus. So there's no disconnect. It's not that we've not been working towards it. All these measures we have put in place to prune the area, to make sure that there are security posts, at least Eugene security presence, and to make sure that students are well protected. These are issues. And to beef up campus security with external security. Right. Yeah. It's extremely unfortunate that is happening. I mean, nobody wants it this way. But once in a while, as a leader, you have no choice than to find yourself meddled up in all such unfortunate incidents. Our appeals to students, one, to remain calm as we try and solve this up. Because you realize, even today, meeting with the whole top level management personnel, it's a step in the right direction. Because they also recognize the fact that it's a national issue. It's not only a University of Ghana issue. Right. So they should remain calm. But again, I would call for cooperation from the students. That when these people come to work on campus, they come to protect the students. So they should not see them as aliens. They should cooperate with them so that at least they can also protect all of us. Because we are all endangered. I am as well.
All right, joining us via Skype right now is security analyst Adam Bona, and he's going to be talking with us about some of the security measures announced by the university authorities to improve the situation on campus. Thank you very much, Mr. Bona, for making time to speak with us. Now, we've heard about the measures that the university authorities have announced to improve the security situation there on campus, and I'd want to find out from you whether you think these measures are adequate enough to improve the situation.
Thank you very much. Good evening to your viewers. Well, I believe this is an ad hoc measure, a temporary measure to ensure that if there are some miscreants who are loitering around the bushes, the police probably will chase them out or get them arrested. So for now, say yes, somehow it might solve the problem in a more temporary, manner. But, on a more long-term basis, the university might have to, look at putting in, in the past, those of us, I played a role on that campus, with regards to even coming up with a policy document for security, which largely was implemented, I think, during Professor Nibo Etego's time, and up to, it was used, I think, up to Prof. Ayite. And so crime came down significantly, together with the then ACP retired Amadu, who used to be the head of security. From, I think, the Vice Chancellor, what he said, if you deduce from what he said, the police left campus without, the authorities knowing that the police have left. In the past, this wouldn't have been the case, because then the head of security would have to always be in direct contact with the police, working with them, making sure, law and order is maintained on the campus. And so it means there is something that probably is gone amiss. I'm hoping that they are able to put themselves together to get things working. I didn't also hear public education, because you see, you cannot get security down to this young, students if they are not aware of do's and don'ts, and also making sure that they get to know when to move out, when not to move out. And the University of Ghana has grown, so large to the extent that if they don't have a very good security strategy, it's going to be very difficult to deal with, deal with security on that campus.
Mr. Bona, now I know the University of Ghana essentially restricts entry into the university such that you can only enter through one gate, and the others you need stickers, University of Ghana stickers to enter. So how is it possible that all sorts of people just make their way into the university to the extent that they are attacking the students?
Well, the university, if you know the architecture, the topography, of the university, it has a lot of, openings where, it's vehicles that you can restrict, but animals and humans who are walking on foot, there's no restrictions. And in the past, one of the things was for the university's own, security guards to sometimes stop and ask people who are loitering around questions to know what they are doing. Are you a student? What are you doing? And so sometimes that helped to apprehend people who were notoriously coming in to rob students. And so as for those on foot, they walk in and out at will.
All right, Mr. Bona, you
so it's difficult.
Mr. Bona, you mentioned the university's security, and I'm wondering, where were they when this attack happened?
The truth is that I don't do any work for them again, and so I wouldn't know if the numbers have gone up, because there should be a commensurate increase in terms of students to securities to student ratio. It needs to be very good. It used to be good in the past, and they had 1 or 2 patrol vehicles. These were helping also the deployment. There was a strategic deployment strategy where you had them, some of them at Tengetenge, some at End Block, some at various locations, and they were regularly swapping, and there was a mechanism to make sure that if you don't swap early, your supervisor or the head of security gets to know. And so for me, I think these things are things that I'm expecting the university to aim to probably revisit if there need be, expand them, make sure they are properly improved. As far as I'm concerned, if they expand that policy, it might help in fighting, this type of crimes on campus. If not, it is going to be largely difficult to, fight stealing and, robbery in terms of butchering people, as we have seen. And so easy. For me, as far as I'm concerned, the university should look at, it from a point of view of making sure that they have good, number of security officers or guards and training, because one of the things was to make sure that there were weekly trainings and pepping the security officers up and making sure that they were well trained, rehearsed in terms of what they were doing in the past. But today, I will not be able to say something because I haven't been privy to what they've been doing in the last few years. But I think that they can do it because it's been done before. And the good thing is that the Minister of Education in charge of tertiary, Professor Yanka, it was during his time most of these things were done, and it brought down crime rate on University of Ghana, for instance, brought it down drastically. There were people who would mingle with students during examination to steal laptops, steal phones, and most of these people were apprehended. using some of the strategic, things that were put in place. So I think the University of Ghana can do it, and so they should look at it from a broader perspective, Israel.
All right. Thank you very much, Adam Bona. Adam Bona is a security analyst, and he has had some security engagement with the University of Ghana at one point in his life. Meanwhile, the police say they are on the hunt for the other suspects. Director of Operations, Accra Region, ACP Kwesi Fori, also confirmed their officers will be conducting patrols on the campus.
So far, one person has been arrested in connection with the matter, and full investigation will be carried out to ascertain whether we can get other suspects in addition. The University of Ghana has a large tract of land. Here we are. There are so many entry points and so forth. And subject was violently, attacked, as the crime scene depicts. But we are so determined to unravel this mystery, to get the attackers, to get the assailants, and bring them to justice. But meanwhile, it is important that police partner the internal security of the university to ensure holistic security. In view of this, we are deploying patrol teams and assault motorbikes to partner their counterparts at the university to patrol the entire corridor and other places of interest.
We're taking a break here on Joy News Prime, but still ahead, we are on the campus of the University of Ghana to assess the situation and the measures which have been instituted by the management of the university to clamp down on the securities or improve the security situation there. Also in the bulletin, 21 children have been rescued in the police operation to clamp down on fishermen using children in fishing on the Volta Lake.
We reiterate the commitment of the Eastern Regional Police Command to deal ruthlessly with boat masters who use children for fishing on the Volta Lake.
Stay tuned, we'll be back in a bit. Watching Joy News Prime, we're turning to our top story, which has to do with new measures announced by the management of the University of Ghana to improve the security situation there on the campus following the attack, the brutal attack on a student on Sunday night. Latif Idris is on the campus and he joins us right now. Latif, what can you tell us about the impact of the measures announced, or if the measures or initiatives announced by the management of the university, if we know, have they been deployed or instituted yet?
Yeah, Israel, I'm currently at Ivandi Hostel. That is the hostel where the young man who was assaulted and robbed, that's his hostel, and we are there. When we got here about some few minutes ago, I saw a pickup truck, and in the buckets, there was a guy in camouflage. So I approached and asked exactly if they form part of the university security system. And the leader of the team confirmed to me that yes, indeed, they are part of the university security system. And in fact, they are deploying about 5 men to man the hostel that was attacked following that robbery incident that happened here. We also understand that the police and the military are also bringing in reinforcements. That is according to the leader of the team who were being deployed here. I have some of the students who live in the hostel. They are the ones who are directly affected as a result of the robbery and would like to have their own assessment of the security situation and gauge their moods how they are coping after the incident. And so if you can kindly join me. And you give me your name.
My name is Abigail Boa.
If you can look into camera for us.
My name is Abigail Boa.
Abigail, and you?
Jaskin.
And how long have you been in this hostel?
2 years.
2 years. Since level 100?
Yeah.
And how would you describe or gauge the security situation since you joined the hostel?
It's not only this hostel. Security on campus is generally poor. It is very poor. Security on campus is very poor. Because this is not the first time an incident like this has happened. So it's like the authorities are not doing anything about it.
Are you suggesting that there's been these kind of attacks?
Yes,
where
it's not the first time. Even this semester. It has even been worse. This is not the first time. It has been happening. Yeah, so they don't care. They don't care because if they wouldn't have waited for something like this to happen before they take action. This morning I saw some policemen all over here. This is not the time we need them. All right, this is not the time we need them. They should have done this before. If they were here last night, an incident like this wouldn't have happened. You understand me? Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, are you satisfied with the kind of security arrangements that has been made? I mean, to manage the situation at least for now.
Yeah, I mean, for now, I think it's very good, but I think they deployed them previously, but then they stopped. And then I think and then they will be like, one will be here and the other one will be far from here. But I think previously I was coming from lectures, and then there were
look into camera first.
There were 2 patrolmen coming, and then they attacked a boy, but then he struggled with them, so they didn't take his phone. But there were patrolmen there, and they attacked the boy. So I mean, I think, I don't know, the patrolmen are not doing so well to protect we the students on campus.
Okay, the patrolmen are not doing enough. She says she's satisfied with for now, with the arrangement that has been made. Are you equally satisfied? We just seen one police pickup truck going. And maybe to confirm what we heard earlier, that the police is bringing in reinforcements. We just saw a pickup truck moving that direction.
They are doing this because of what happened last 2 days, or yesterday, I think so. They are doing this because of what happened yesterday. If this hadn't happened, I don't think they would have done this. Yeah, it's true they deployed some security men on this route about a month ago. They were just 2. You will see them around, around 8:30, 9, you will see them around. Sometimes I go to my department at night to study. When I'm coming back around 12 to 12:30, I don't see any of them here. So around 8, you see them. By 10:30, 11, they will vanish. And that is when this place is very risky. And that is when we need them.
So that's the question. When do you need security on campus? 24/7 or just in the evening?
24/7. 24/7.
Okay, so we understand that Tree. So we come back to you briefly. That you didn't like the initial arrangements.
Yeah, the last time
what exactly do you want?
Oh, I want them to beef up the security here, like for them to deploy more men along this road to protect us. That's what I really want.
More boots on the ground.
Yeah.
But that is exactly what they are working towards. Are you not impressed?
I think it's because of what happened to the guy that they are now beefing up security. Because previously it wasn't like that. Like the boy was saying, there were only 2 men patrolling this road.
So what you want is for the reinforcement to come in, but it must be sustained. Is that the case?
Oh, man. And in fact, all the security men I've been seen on campus are old men.
Old men?
Yes, very old men who can do barely nothing to protect us.
All right, so you heard it right here that some of the students, what they are saying is that the security personnel that are being deployed here to protect them are mostly made up of old men who they think are unable to provide them with the necessary security. So do you usually have these people on campus?
The police.
Like this dispatch rider and the police pickup truck that we just saw. This is another police pickup truck. Do you usually see this on campus?
They're only here because of what happened last night. Yeah. They're only here because of what happened last night.
So I asked earlier, you want to see more men on the ground, yes, but you want it to be sustained. Yeah. Is that the case?
Yes.
University security is also
in lights here. You can see. It's just one. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come to you. You are talking about street lights. What is the difficulty with street lights here?
I don't really know the difficulty with the street lights here, because the street lights coming from Penn to Ivande, it only ends at Penn Block B. So I think they made that street light for only the Penn, residents, and then they left. They didn't bring any street lights from Block B to Ivande because there are only bushes here, and then when you come here, you get to see a street lights only here.
So that is also another challenge, you would say.
Yeah.
So in the interim, what do you want to see with the street lights system? You know, that cannot be fixed within a day or two, compared to the security that is being provided for you. So what exactly do you want to see in that regard?
Yeah, I think they should just deploy more securities here, because the street lights, they can't do anything about it for now. They will need some time to fix them and stuff. So,
but for now, generally, how is the mood at the hostel generally following the robbery and the attack?
Everyone is very angry. Yesterday, personally, I was very sad because it could have been me. I pass here almost every night, 12:30, sometimes even 2. So it could have been me. So I was very sad.
Okay. And you are?
Audrey.
I'm talking about the mood at the hostel.
I'm angry, sad for the boy, and then scared a bit because I usually ply these routes going for lectures.
Okay.
And around even 7, 8, they can attack you.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, Israel, so you had some of the students at the hostel telling us that they are angry and sad about the situation. One of the issues they have raised, apart from this, inadequate numbers when it comes to the boots on the ground to provide them with security, they also talk about the street lights. If you look at the far end, there is only one street light. And in between that hall, which is about some 500 meters away from here, there is not adequate street light to deter people with criminal intent, like what happened to this young man who we understand is still battling with his life at the hospital. And so they also want to see the street lights fixed to make sure that they are safe in their hostels, and even when they go out to study at night, when returning back to the hostel, they would also feel safe as well, Israel.
All right. Thank you very much, Latif Idris. Indeed, the matter of the streetlights is one of the things that the university authorities announced that they're looking at, that all the streetlights on that stretch are being fixed immediately to increase visibility. So we're looking forward to that happening as soon as possible. You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break to bring you business news, but still ahead in the bulletin. 21 children have been rescued in a police operation to clamp down on fishermen using children in fishing on the Volta Lake.
Children were screaming. He had entered the lake to remove the nets. The man he went with left him. He drowned.
We'll be sharing with you some of the harrowing stories of the boys or the young boys who were rescued. Also in the bulletin, Accra High Court hearing criminal charges brought against opposition NDC party chairman adjourns to allow defense lawyers study copy of leaked recording tendered in evidence by the state. 21 children have been rescued in a police operation to clamp down on fishermen using children for fishing on the Volta Lake. Most of the children, who are originally from different parts of the country, were compelled to work in slave-like conditions in the Afram Plains fishing community known as Ejirapota. One of the many suspected trafficked children we choose to call Kwame, has been talking about how he was compelled by his master to return to the lake to fish a day after one of his colleagues drowned. Public Relations Officer of the Eastern Region Police, Francis Gomado, meanwhile says police will deal with fishermen and boat owners engaged in the act. Maxwell Agbagba has more on this report.
Lake Volta has a booming fishing industry, a source of livelihood for many who live along its banks, but also a source of pain and anguish for many children who are taken from different places in Ghana to work as child slaves.
We're on a boat right now from Tepa, Abotuase, heading to one of the island communities around Afram Plains. Well, ahead of me, we have two boats. There's another one behind, and then another speedboat, all going for this rescue mission. And it's my first time on a boat like this. It promises already to be adventurous.
The trip to the island community of Edrakota was like a journey to eternity. Police say they had done extensive work prior to the rescue mission. After many days of investigations, they say 24 children and 11 boat owners were identified. The personnel arrived in the community knowing who they were going after.
Noted.
They all had copies of a booklet which had images of the suspected trafficked children and traffickers. 9 boat owners who were uncovered by undercover investigations were arrested.
Operation Ablode is still ongoing here at Edrakota, a community at the banks of the Volta Lake. What is ongoing behind me now is interrogation by the Criminal Investigations Department. The suspects are here, but surprisingly, all the children in the community have gone missing. The only people here on the banks of the river are women and men. We can't find the children.
The team will later learn the community had prior information. According to Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Eastern Regional Police, Francis Gomado, the boat owners hid the children in their rooms, adjoining communities and the bush.
And when I was probing further to know the reason why we could not meet the children, it was clear from the chief's own words that he was even telling the people that they should let the children come so that we have interview with them. Those that are supposed to be helped will help them. But they didn't listen. We have it in mind that we don't want to antagonize anybody.
It is 4:33 a.m. Right now, and what is happening behind me, we have the arrival of some of the suspected trafficked children. After many hours of interrogation by the Criminal Investigations Department, we've had these children arriving here, and the rest of the process will continue.
Police picked intelligence the children were being transported back to Ningo Pram Pram, where they were taken. Deputy PRO of the Eastern Region Police provides details.
They were put in a car, a bus, with one male and one female to actually lead them to where they brought them from. And the vehicle that was transporting the 16 of the trafficked children, suspected trafficked children, were intercepted at Atimpoku.
I've met one of them I choose to call Kwame. He says he lived on the same compound with one of the boys who drowned on the lake. He says his master beat him on the lake with a rope. He has not set eyes on his parents since he was taken to the fishing community many years ago.
On that day, we did not go with them. One of the children was screaming. He had entered the lake to remove the nets. The man he went with left him. He drowned. I lived in the same house with the boy who died. I told him I was scared, but he allayed our fears. He said nothing will happen to us. We cast the net, we paddled the canoe.
The Attorney General's office has submitted a leaked recording of a meeting of party communicators of the National Democratic Congress, along with the forensic analysis of the audio, to an Accra High Court. The materials will form part of the evidence the state is relying on to prove its case against the NDC National Chairman Samuel Ofosu Ampofo and another officer of the party charged with conspiracy to cause harm and assault on a public officer. There's more in the following report by Joseph Akable.
Sympathizers of the opposition NDC thronged the law court complex to support NDC National Chairman Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. He is standing trial together with Deputy Communications Officer Kweku Boahi on charges of conspiracy to cause harm and assault on a public officer. The court had previously ordered the Attorney General's office to make available evidence it intends to use in the trial. Director of Public Prosecution Yvonne Atakro-Obisa informed the court the audio recording, witness, caution, charge statements and forensics reports has been submitted at the court registry. A member of Mr. Ampofu's legal team, Dr. Dominic Ayene, told pressmen they would have preferred to receive the documents earlier.
Before we came, the documents had not been served on us, and we knew that pursuant to the order of the court, we're entitled to have those documents before any hearing could take place. So we anticipated that there will be an adjournment today. Much as we are concerned, due process of law will also have to be followed. And that is why we obliged the court and took an adjournment today.
Hearing of the case continues on May 27.